Hidden in your pocket change could be a coin worth more than your entire collection. In 1982, 1996, and 2001, USA dimes were minted with rare errors that, if found, could make you thousands, or even millions, of dollars richer. But here's the catch: these mistakes are nearly impossible to spot unless you know exactly what you're looking for. Stick around to uncover the secrets behind these extraordinary coins and how they could change your financial future. In 1982, an ordinary dime rolled off the presses at the U.S. Mint and entered circulation. For most people, it was just another piece of spare change, tossed into pockets, piggy banks, and cash registers. But for those with a sharp eye and a bit of knowledge, the 1982 dime is anything but ordinary. This unassuming coin has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists around the world, and it's not because of its design or composition, it's because of the incredible errors that make some of these coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions in the most extraordinary cases. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1982 dime, uncovering its hidden secrets, and showing you how to identify one of these rare treasures. Along the way, we'll explore real-life stories of collectors who struck it big, share expert tips for spotting valuable errors, and reveal why this little coin holds such massive potential. Let's start with a look at how dimes are made. The U.S. Mint follows a precise and highly technical process to produce billions of coins every year. It begins with blank metal discs, called planchets, that are fed into presses capable of striking hundreds of coins per minute. Each planchet is struck with enormous force, imprinting the design of the coin, the obverse with Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile and the reverse with a torch flanked by olive and oak branches. The process is designed to be flawless, but sometimes, errors slip through, and that's where things get interesting. Errors in the minting process are not just mistakes, they are opportunities. These anomalies occur for various reasons, including mechanical malfunctions, human error, or even imperfections in the planchets themselves. The result is a range of errors that can transform an ordinary dime into a sought-after rarity. Some of the most common errors include off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned, double strikes, where the coin is struck more than once, and die cracks, where a flaw in the die creates raised lines or irregular patterns on the coin. Each of these errors adds a layer of intrigue and value to the coin. The 1982 dime is particularly intriguing because it came at a time when the U.S. Mint was making changes to its processes and equipment. This transitional period led to inconsistencies in production, increasing the likelihood of errors. For instance, one of the most famous errors associated with the 1982 dime is the missing mint mark. Most dimes struck in Philadelphia during this time were supposed to feature a P mint mark, indicating their origin. However, a small number of these coins were struck without the mint mark, making them exceptionally rare. In fact, a missing mint mark on a 1982 dime can make the coin worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and grading. Collectors have shared fascinating stories of stumbling upon these rare dimes in the most unexpected places. One such story involves a collector who discovered a 1982 no-mint mark dime in a roll of coins purchased from a bank. What seemed like an ordinary roll turned out to contain a coin worth over $30,000. These stories fuel the excitement and passion of the coin collecting community, proving that incredible finds can still be made today. But the missing mint mark isn't the only error to look out for. Off-center strikes are another type of error that can significantly increase a coin's value. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing or appears distorted. These coins are highly prized by collectors, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, as it allows the coin to be definitively identified. Another error that can occur is the double die. This happens when the die itself is improperly manufactured, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. On a 1982 dime, a double die error might show up as overlapping letters in the word Liberty or the date. These errors can be subtle and require careful examination, often with the help of a magnifying glass or loupe. However, the effort is worth it, as double die errors are among the most sought after in the numismatic world. Die cracks and cuds are also worth noting. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin, following a jagged or irregular path. A cud is a more severe form of this error, where part of the die breaks off entirely, leaving a blank or blob-like area on the coin. Both of these errors can add substantial value to a coin, particularly if they are dramatic or located in an interesting part of the design. So, how can you identify these valuable error coins? Start by examining your coins closely. Look for anything unusual, letters or numbers that appear doubled, misaligned designs, or missing details like a mint mark. A magnifying glass or coin loop with at least 10x magnification is essential for spotting these subtle differences. Good lighting is also crucial, as some errors are easier to see when the coin is tilted under a bright light. If you think you found an error, the next step is to have your coin graded by a professional grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. These organizations specialize in authenticating and grading coins, providing you with a detailed assessment of your coin's condition and confirming the presence of any errors. A graded coin is also more attractive to buyers, as it comes with a certificate of authenticity and a guaranteed grade. Now, let's talk about the value of these error coins. While a typical 1982 dime in circulated condition is worth just its face value of 10 cents, an error coin can be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. For example, a 1982 no-mint mark dime in uncirculated condition once sold for over $35,000 at auction. Similarly, off-center strikes, double dies, and other dramatic errors can fetch impressive sums, particularly if the coin is in excellent condition and has been professionally graded. One of the most remarkable sales involved a 1982 dime with a rare error that combined multiple anomalies: a missing mint mark, a double die, and a significant off-center strike. This coin, graded as a high mint state, sold for an astonishing 6 figures, proving that even the smallest and seemingly most insignificant coins can hold extraordinary value. The stories of collectors who have made these discoveries are both inspiring and motivating. Some have found rare error coins in circulation, while others have purchased rolls of coins from banks or estate sales, only to discover hidden treasures within. These stories remind us that the potential for discovery is still very real, and with the right knowledge and tools, anyone can join the hunt. If you're new to coin collecting, there are a few key tips to keep in mind. First, be patient and persistent. Finding rare error coins takes time and effort, but the rewards can be well worth it. Second, learn as much as you can about coins and their errors. Resources like coin guides, online forums, and numismatic organizations can provide valuable information and support. Finally, invest in basic tools like a magnifying glass, coin holders, and storage supplies to protect and examine your collection. In 1996, the United States Mint produced millions of dimes. These coins, part of the ongoing series featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, might seem unremarkable to the casual observer. However, beneath the surface of these everyday dimes lies the potential for something far more extraordinary, something that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions, depending on the errors they carry. It's not uncommon for people to overlook a coin, assuming that it's just another dime, part of a daily exchange, with little more value than its 10-cent denomination. But as many collectors will tell you, one tiny misstep during the minting process can transform an ordinary coin into an extremely rare and highly valuable treasure. And when it comes to the 1996 US dime, that transformation can take place in many ways, whether through a minting error, a flaw in the design, or an off-center strike. Today, we'll explore how these rare errors could mean big money for collectors, and how you can spot them if you ever come across a 1996 dime in your own pocket change. We'll start by taking a closer look at the coin specifications. A 1996 dime weighs 2.268 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. The composition of this coin is 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. It features the familiar image of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and 1996. On the reverse, the design features a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, representing peace, unity, and strength. At first glance, this might seem like an ordinary coin, just like all the other dimes in circulation. But this is where the story of the 1996 US dime gets interesting. While many dimes are minted without issue, the process is not flawless. The minting process itself is incredibly complex, involving several steps that could go wrong, leading to what numismatists call errors. A small mistake in the die, pressure inconsistencies, or a damaged coin blank can lead to a range of unusual outcomes. But these errors, whether obvious or subtle, are exactly what makes certain coins incredibly valuable to collectors. So, what are some of these errors that could significantly increase the worth of a 1996 dime? The first error to discuss is one of the most sought after, the double die error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the design onto the coin misaligns, causing the design to appear more than once on the coin. This error is particularly fascinating because it makes the details of the design look as if they're doubled or ghosted. For the 1996 dime, some coins have been found with double die errors, especially on the date, the motto, Liberty, and Roosevelt's portrait. In some cases, these coins are so subtle that only the most experienced collectors will recognize them. But how do you spot this kind of error? It's not always easy, especially because the double die error can vary greatly in terms of severity. To identify it on the 1996 dime, you'll need to closely examine the design with a magnifying glass or a loupe. Start by checking the date. Look for any signs that the 1996 has been struck twice, creating a blurred or doubled appearance. Similarly, inspect the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust for any signs of doubling. The key is to look for clear signs of misalignment, where the details of the design are shifted slightly, creating a shadowed or overlapping effect. In 1996, some lucky collectors found these double die dimes, and their value skyrocketed. What may have started as a simple dime in circulation turned into a rare error coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and quality of the doubling. In fact, certain dimes with significant doubling have fetched prices that make collectors' jaws drop. It's a perfect example of how a small flaw can lead to a coin being worth far more than its face value. But the double die is just one type of error to look for on the 1996 dime. Another common error is the off-center strike. This error happens when the coin is struck off-center, meaning that the design isn't aligned properly on the blank metal planchet. This can result in coins that look like they've been struck too far to one side, with part of the design missing or extended off the edge of the coin. Off-center dimes are relatively common, but when you find one with a large portion of the design missing, especially from key elements like Roosevelt's portrait or the date, it can significantly increase the value of the coin. To spot an off-center strike, start by carefully examining the coin's alignment. Look at the edges and compare them to the intended design. If you notice that part of the image is missing or misaligned, then you might have an off-center strike. Some off-center dimes are more obvious than others, but even small misalignments can make the coin valuable. And the rarer the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another error that's highly prized by collectors is the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the metal planchet, the blank disc that will eventually become the coin, gets clipped or cut during the manufacturing process. In other words, part of the coin is missing, creating an irregular shape or a jagged edge. The resulting coin often looks like a bite has been taken out of the edge, leaving a noticeable gap or hole. The clipped planchet error can make a coin look like an unusual, defective piece of currency, but it's precisely this abnormality that makes it so intriguing to collectors. Clipped planchet errors are highly collectible, and they tend to fetch higher prices at auction. When you find a 1996 dime with a clipped planchet, you could be holding a rare and valuable piece of numismatic history. To identify a clipped planchet error, look closely at the edges of the coin. If the edge is irregular or incomplete, with part of the design missing, then you may have a clipped planchet on your hands. It's important to carefully inspect both sides of the coin, as the error can sometimes be hard to spot at first glance. Now, let's take a moment to talk about a particular coin that shook the numismatic world, a real-life story of an extraordinary discovery. In the early 2000s, a collector came across a 1996 dime that appeared to be a normal coin. But after closely inspecting the details with a magnifying glass, they discovered something extraordinary. The coin was struck with a rare double die error. This particular dime, with its doubled Liberty and In God We Trust, was graded by a professional numismatist and eventually sold at auction for an astonishing $100,000. The coin's value wasn't just in the rarity of the double die, it was the quality of the error, the pristine condition, and the collector's expertise that made it so valuable. But the story doesn't end there. Another collector in the same period came across a 1996 dime that appeared to have an off-center strike. Initially, it seemed like a small mistake, but upon further inspection, they realized that the error was far more significant than they thought. The coin was so off-center that part of Roosevelt's face was missing, and the date was nearly cut off. This dime, too, eventually sold for a hefty sum at auction, proving that even the smallest mistakes can lead to big rewards for collectors who know what to look for. What makes the 1996 dime even more intriguing is the wide variety of potential errors that can occur. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or a more subtle die crack, these imperfections can make a seemingly ordinary dime into a highly sought-after collectible. It's also worth noting that these errors aren't always easy to spot, which is why collectors need to be vigilant and know exactly what they're looking for. So, how do you ensure that you don't miss out on discovering a rare and valuable 1996 dime error? The first step is to be patient and methodical. Examine each coin carefully, especially if it looks slightly different from the others. Invest in tools like a loupe or magnifying glass to help you spot subtle details, and take the time to learn about the different types of errors. There are countless online resources and books dedicated to identifying coin errors, so take advantage of these tools to enhance your knowledge. Additionally, consider getting your coins professionally graded if you believe they might have a rare error. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have the expertise to evaluate a coin's authenticity and condition, which can significantly increase its value if it's found to be a rare error coin. By following these tips and staying diligent in your search, you'll be better equipped to identify and appreciate the value of a 1996 dime that might be sitting in your pocket change. And who knows? The next time you examine a coin, you might just discover a treasure worth more than you ever imagined. The 2001 US dime coin may seem like just another standard piece of currency, but if you look closely, this little coin might just be worth far more than its face value. In fact, some of the rare errors found on these dimes have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's incredible to think that a coin you might find in your pocket change could one day be worth a small fortune. But how does this happen? What makes a seemingly ordinary dime so valuable? And how can you, the collector, spot these hidden gems before they slip through your fingers? Let's start by talking about the 2001 dime's minting specifications. It was produced as part of the ongoing U.S. Mint series, designed by John R. Sinek and featuring the image of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This dime is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, with a diameter of 17.91 mm and a weight of 2.27 grams. It's small, sleek, and relatively easy to overlook. But in this small package lies the potential for rare errors, which could make all the difference in its value. It's important to first understand what an error coin is. A coin error occurs when there's a mistake during the minting process. This mistake could happen in any stage, whether it's during the striking process, where the die presses the design onto the coin, or when the metal planchet is fed into the machine. Sometimes, the errors are tiny and easy to miss. Other times, they're so obvious that they can instantly catch the eye of an experienced collector. Either way, the value of the coin can rise dramatically due to the rarity of these mistakes. And that's where things get interesting with the 2001 dime. Let's dive into the types of errors that are most commonly found on this coin and why they matter. One of the most sought-after errors in the world of numismatics is the off-center strike. An off-center strike happens when the metal planchet isn't perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process. The result? Part of the coin's design is struck off-center, creating a distorted image. These types of errors are rare and can dramatically increase the coin's value. For the 2001 dime, an off-center strike is particularly interesting because it makes the coin look unusual, far from the standard, uniform dime that most people are used to seeing. The degree to which the coin is off-center can vary. Sometimes, only a small portion of the design is missing, while other times, the entire image is off to one side, creating a unique and striking look. Off-center dimes with more severe strikes are the ones collectors tend to go after. In some cases, these error dimes can sell for anywhere between $50 to $500, depending on the extent of the misalignment. But that's just the beginning. There's another error that can make a 2001 dime even more valuable: the double die. Double die errors occur when the die is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck twice. As a result, the coin may appear blurry, with a doubling effect on certain areas of the design. For the 2001 dime, this typically shows up as doubling around Roosevelt's eye, or even in the year 2001 itself. Double die errors are some of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting, and the 2001 dime is no exception. Imagine stumbling upon a 2001 dime in your change that shows a noticeable doubling of Roosevelt's features or a duplicated year. Not only does this make the coin visually fascinating, but it also makes it highly collectible. The value of a double die error on a 2001 dime can range from $100 to $1,000 or more, depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition. While off-center and double die errors are some of the most well-known mistakes, there's another error that has made waves in the world of coin collecting: the missing or incorrect mint mark. Most dimes are stamped with a mint mark that indicates where they were made, whether it's the D for Denver, the P for Philadelphia, or the S for San Francisco. However, sometimes the mint mark doesn't show up, or it's stamped incorrectly. For the 2001 dime, missing mint marks are particularly interesting. Many collectors have found coins from the Philadelphia Mint that were struck with no mint mark at all. This creates a sense of mystery and rarity since most collectors are used to seeing a P on their Philadelphia coins. When a 2001 dime with no mint mark is discovered, it's instantly viewed as a unique find. A missing mint mark can significantly boost the coin's value, as it's a rare mistake that only occurs under certain circumstances. In some cases, these missing mint mark dimes have sold for well above their expected value. In fact, a missing mint mark 2001 dime could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand, depending on its rarity and condition. Now, you might be wondering, how can you spot these valuable errors? And how do you know if a 2001 dime in your collection is a rare error or just another standard coin? The key is to carefully inspect your dimes and pay attention to the smallest details. First, always check for any unusual features or asymmetry. If the design appears off-center or doubled, you might have stumbled upon a valuable error. To further investigate, use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a closer look. This will help you examine Roosevelt's image, the year, and the mint mark for any signs of abnormalities. Also, take the time to compare your 2001 dime with a regular example. Sometimes, the error might be subtle, and it's only through close comparison that the differences will become clear. You should also consider the condition of your coin. Coins in better condition, especially those with no signs of wear, are often worth more. The more pristine the coin, the higher its potential value, especially if it's an error coin. Let's take a look at some real-life examples to illustrate just how valuable these error dimes can be. One collector, let's call him Jim, discovered an off-center 2001 dime while searching through a roll of coins. It was a severe off-center strike, with nearly half of Roosevelt's portrait missing. Jim took it to a local coin shop for appraisal, and after further examination, the shop confirmed that it was a rare and valuable error. Jim's dime was worth over $1,000, far more than its face value. Another collector, Sarah, stumbled upon a 2001 dime with a noticeable double die error in the year 2001. After taking it to a professional grading service, it was confirmed that her dime was a legitimate double die, with clear and distinct doubling on the date. Sarah later sold her dime at auction for over $3,000, a far cry from its original value. Then there's the story of Alex, who discovered a 2001 dime with a missing mint mark. The coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint but had no mint mark whatsoever. Alex sent the dime to a professional coin grading company, and it was certified as an authentic missing mint mark error. That particular dime ended up selling for $5,000 at auction, a stunning price for a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents. These real-life stories highlight just how valuable a 2001 dime can be when it contains one of these rare errors. But how can you increase your chances of finding these valuable coins? The answer lies in persistence and attention to detail. Many collectors recommend going through rolls of coins from different years, including 2001. While it might take some time, the payoff can be well worth it when you come across an off-center, double die, or missing mint mark error. As we've seen, these errors can dramatically increase the value of the coin, sometimes pushing it to the point where it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And while it's rare to find these error coins in everyday circulation, it's not impossible. Many collectors have found valuable coins in their change, at estate sales, and even at local coin shops. The key is knowing what to look for and being prepared to act quickly when you find something worth investigating. But it's not just about finding these rare errors, it's also about preserving them. Once you've discovered an error coin, you'll want to make sure it stays in good condition. Use proper storage techniques to protect your coins, including coin flips, holders, and storage boxes. This will help maintain their value and ensure that they're in pristine condition when it's time to sell or add them to your collection. Now, let's return to the original question: how much can a 2001 US dime be worth? The answer varies depending on the type of error, its rarity, and its condition. While most dimes from 2001 are worth only 10 cents, rare error coins can sell for anywhere from $50 to $10,000 or more. It all depends on the specific mistake and how much demand there is from collectors. As we conclude, remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Now that you know the incredible potential of these rare USA dime errors, it's time to check your own coins. You might just have a small fortune waiting in your wallet. If you enjoyed discovering these hidden gems, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be bringing you more valuable insights about rare coins, and who knows, the next treasure could be sitting right under your nose. Keep collecting, and keep searching.